Hi Pisces, and welcome to your reading for January 2019. Happy New Year. My name is Melanie, and today I'm using two different decks of cards. I use the Tattoo Tarot Ink and Intuition set, of which you can see 5 cards from there. And then I also like to use a second deck called the Dreamtime Reading Cards, and I'll be reading from this booklet towards the end of the reading when I pull a card from the deck, which I kind of use as oracle cards and to give us, a bit of an overall theme for the month. The Dreamtime is the Aboriginal Australian spiritual belief system, and these cards help us to connect with the ancient spirit and nature of Australia. So, 5 cards for you guys. The first card represents past energy, and for that you have the 6 of Swords, Pisces. The second card for this spread is about present issues, current situation, and for that you guys got the High Priestess. The third card being about possible obstacles that may show up for you this month, the 7 of Swords. The fourth card is about possible helpful tools this month. You guys have the Hermit. And the outcome card for this month, for January, Pisces, you guys have the 3 of Wands. So I'm just going to go through them individually, and hopefully we can sort of see a bit of a picture here, a bit of a story emerging. So, past energy, 6 of Swords. So this is a card of transition. It's a rite of passage and a journey, whether that's an internal journey or an external journey that you've had to make. It's sort of enduring something to restore balance. So this can be a regretful but necessary transition. It's sort of getting in the boat, taking your precious things with you, moving away from rough waters into calmer waters ahead of you. So something that you've had to leave behind, and you're now heading in a different direction, in a right direction. Things may not be perfect, but you're getting there. So this may also be about actually taking a physical break, going on an actual journey. It is a card though about, ultimately it's a positive card about success, sort of recovery after illness, recovery after bereavement, coming through a difficult time, succeeding over anxieties, movement and transition, like a physical or an emotional move, and having support around you, being blessed with that. In some way, I suspect you may have had to start over in some area of your life and leave something behind, but this is kind of released you in a way, and your burden is lighter, the weight is off your shoulders, you're moving into a calmer thinking state, a calmer part of your life. There is support around you, and this is always a good thing. So you've been moving in the right direction, whether you kind of initially wanted to or not. Maybe a tough choice has had to be made, and you've made it, and now you're heading in the right direction. So that's quite a beautiful card, if not a bit difficult, a bit challenging, but that's how we grow and change in life. Moving on to the second card, representing the current situation, current issues right now for you guys, and you have the High Priestess card. Such a beautiful card. This is a card about the divine feminine. It's a very intuitive card. It's about deep knowledge, trusting your inner voice. It's about mystery. It's a guiding card. It's about tapping into those sources within you and all around us that guide us, gut instincts. It's solutions to problems that don't come through the head or the heart. They come through a very deep intuitive place. It's a card about dreams, the subconscious, the unknown, instinct. It's a very, this woman is a very wise woman, a mysterious kind of woman, mysterious kind of energy, living between light and dark, earth and the sky, land and the water. It's a card about strength and wisdom. It's also a very fertile card, about fertility, sexuality, femininity. It's a card of sort of being divinely connected. So it sounds like right now you guys are perhaps channeling this energy. You're in a deeply intuitive space in your life right now. You're really tuned into this deeply feminine guiding energy. It's saying you are hopefully trusting yourself right now, trusting in something way bigger than you. The time is right for conception of something, whether that's an actual baby or the conception of a new idea, a new phase in your life, a new job, a new relationship. There is something really deep and prophetic going on right now, that's sort of divinely guided. It's a very beautiful card. So the sense I get from this is a card of sort of deep stillness and calmness, and just being in this profound meditative state where you feel connected to the universe and really connected to deep parts of you that normally you don't listen to, perhaps, or they're just out of our awareness. So maybe there are messages coming to you right now through your dreams, or you're having these strong feelings about things that make no sense to you in your head, but they are coming from a really intuitive place and a very fertile place. So just perhaps take note of that right now. But certainly a very lovely card, very wise kind of card. If this is not within you right now, maybe there is a person in your life who is like this, that you that is offering you some sort of guidance, or that you want to turn to be to seek some assistance from, because this person, if it is a woman, is very wise and very connected. The third card in your reading, Pisces, represents possible obstacles this month. You have the Seven of Swords. So look, this card has a few different meanings. The primary meaning of this card, though, typically is of deception. It's of stealth. It's of being mischievous and getting away with something. It's about trickery and cunning and dishonesty. It's about getting away with something. It's lying to yourself or someone lying to you, being sneaky. It's kind of a warning to watch your back. This kind of energy can be used for the right purposes, being skillful and determined to kind of get what you want. But it can also be, and because this is in the position of possible obstacles this month, I suspect that there is something dodgy going on, either around you. Somebody is being kind of sneaky and manipulative around you, or you are in some way, which would surprise me given the High Priestess card right next to you. I think this is suggesting that there is someone around you that you maybe can't trust. Another interpretation of this card is that it represents communication and speaking out. It can be a card sort of about publishing, editing, advanced education, getting a trade. I don't think it sounds like it's probably not about that. Although it could be if you've been because, or there's some problem coming up in that area around some sort of education or trade that you've, or area of publishing or communication that you wanted to get into that isn't working, or there's someone blocking you in that area. This card can also be about being in a sort of poverty or lack mentality, and feeling that you don't have enough and you've kind of got to be sneaky to try and get everything that you want, or somebody is around you. But generally from this card, it's about deception and betrayal, and someone being a bit cunning to try and get away with something. I don't know if there's anyone around your life right now like that, but just to be careful of that, because obviously that's not a really helpful energy or thing to have around you. That could stop you in some way from what you're trying to work on right now. I think too, if you're in quite an intuitive space and this energy shows up, you will be able to detect it. If you're really tuned in you'll pick this kind of energy up, and if this is a person around you right now, or like if something is going on at your work, or I don't know, anything that you're involved in, and you have a gut feeling that something is not right, this is saying to trust that. I would say to investigate that further. Following on from that, the fourth card there, possible helpful tools this month. You guys have the Hermit, which to me is different but has similar energy in some way to the High Priestess card, because the Hermit card, he's off on a bit of a solo trek. He's taken by choice, he's removed himself from a situation to reflect, to isolate himself, to go within. He's seeking enlightenment, seeking truth by seeking inner guidance, So it's about relying on yourself right now. The Hermit is a seeker. He's a sage. He's a person in a place of quiet reflection, of withdrawal, of contemplation, of discretion, in being alone and being quite content to be alone. A lot of soul searching kind of going on. So this card is, I think both two cards here, High Priestess and the Hermit, talk about being alone by choice in a positive way, to reflect and to go within and to really connect or reconnect with that energy, and to trust yourself in that, and trust the connection that these states bring us to the universe and to that higher source that is always around us and within us. It's a card about focusing on positive aspects of your life, the Hermit. It's a reminder, it's a spiritual card. It's a reminder that you're not alone right now, even though you may feel alone, or you may have had to remove yourself from a situation. To reflect, to meditate, to seek answers in solitude. It's not about abandoning people or abandoning plans. It's about kind of this wise understanding that right now you need to take some time for yourself, reconnect, and seek out answers that way. It's like sort of almost a partner to the High Priestess in a funny kind of way. That's the sense I'm getting looking at these cards and talking through them now. So that may well be very helpful. So if something dodgy or somebody dodgy does come up in your life and you have a sense of that, listen to that, and then take some time away from this person or situation to really reflect on that and go into a sort of a deep meditative state. Don't get too caught up in the feelings around that. I think it's inevitable that there will be some strong feelings if somebody is trying to be deceptive or manipulative. The flip side, perhaps don't be too harsh in your thinking about that. These cards are suggesting to come to a wise place about what is best for you right now. The final card you have in your reading, representing the outcome for the month of January for Pisces, is the Three of Wands. So we're kind of going from individual, personal kind of energies to a card of strength in numbers, of it's a positive card, but it's about sort of cooperation and success and kind of now moving out into the world. This is a card about watching and waiting for your ships to come in, which is a positive thing. So there's troubles ending, there's favourable returns coming in from a place of hard work, a place, say, right at the beginning in the past energy there, you've been on a journey, you've left something behind, you've done some hard work, some reflection, you've had to be a bit cautious along the way, but now there is some rewards you're starting to see. Perhaps you're closer to your goals. They are in the distance, but they're there. There's a reward in sight. This is saying you're towards the last leg of your journey. So you were on or are still on a journey. We could see in the Six of Swords, you've had to walk away from something. You've had to be, this card is saying, the Three of Wands, you're kind of been going your own way. It's quite an independent card, but also a card about needing to cooperate with those around you, and perhaps now you are in a position to lead. You have come through some stuff, you've been on a journey, and people are now looking to you and going, wow, share with me your knowledge. And maybe you too are seeking that from others as well, but maybe you've gained some knowledge from your introspection and your reflective states that you've been in this month, or that you have chosen to kind of lean into this month. This is a card about foresight. It's about looking ahead to the future, and seeing these little glimpses on the horizon of good things coming in now that you've been working on. It can be a card about busy times coming up in your life, so maybe things have been a little quieter, certainly with the High Priestess and the Hermit card, and being hopefully in calmer waters. Things may be picking up now, but essentially troubles have ended. Good times, positive times are sort of entering into the picture now. You're waiting for the return of sort of that natural cycle of, you've put in the hard work, and now there is some positive outcomes you can see, you can get a sense of now. They may not be here, but you're sort of quite towards the finishing line now. It's certainly been a little bit rocky, I think, at times. We could see with the Seven of Swords card there, something has kind of happened, but now you're on firm, steady ground. In fact, you're on sort of higher ground now, and you can see the lay of the land, and what lies ahead, and what lies ahead looks really good and really positive. So on that note, I'm now going to grab the Dreamtime Reading Cards deck. I'm going to shuffle them here, and we're going to see if we can get an overall theme card for Pisces for the month of January 2019. Thank you so much, Universe. I'm just going to grab that one because it just came straight out. Oh, Death Adder, which is a card about strategy. So I'm going to pull. This is a dot painting, very typical of Aboriginal Australian art. Very detailed paintings and drawings. I'm going to pop it there, and I'm going to pull my book out. I'm going to read. Oh, and it just opens straight away to this page. Death Adder, strategy. The Death Adder is a slow-moving, robust snake. It has a large head and short, stocky, S-shaped body. It is often similar in colour to its surroundings and is very good at camouflaging in leaf litter, sandy or shale environments. I don't know what shale means. Because it cannot sneak up on its prey or move swiftly, the Death Adder has to plan ahead. I think we see that in the Three of Wands, kind of looking ahead. So it will lie in wait on a walking track of its prey, concealing itself. This involves planning and patience. Often the only part visible will be its tail, which will wiggle to encourage its prey to approach. That's a bit sneaky, isn't it? A bit like the Seven of Swords. The Death Adder's message is one of forward planning, of knowing what it is you want and making sure you implement a plan, taking your time to achieve it. I think this is very much talking about the Three of Wands card and the Hermit having reflected and kind of coming up perhaps with a bit of a game plan. So there are times when it is not advisable to act hastily or charge ahead, and at this time it is advisable that you wait. You must take the time to work out what strategies are needed to fulfill your ambitions, and make sure you follow the plan you have worked out in order to get the results you're hoping for. Now is not the time to act impetuously, without forethought or planning. Okay, so you need to have a bit of a strategy. I'm thinking and I'm hoping, and my sense is that this is what you guys have been doing in this month with the High Priestess and the Hermit card there. Perhaps thinking already started in the past with the Six of Swords, moving away from something, a necessary ending that was a bit difficult, but now you're in a better space, and you already started thinking then, geez, where to from here? What do I need to change? You're already on that path. You're on a very reflective path. There is a little bit of dodgy energy around. Be mindful of that. Don't let it pull you from your plan, from your strategy. Don't rush into things. Be wise, be tuned in, be calm as much as you can. and you will see the rewards of this process in due course. So, Pisces, I hope some of this has resonated with you or has been of some use. I'm really grateful that you've chosen to listen or watch this reading today. All the best for January, and I hope to see you again in February.